Hi, it's Landon, and this is BioMechanico's survey app. This is the front page of BioMechanico. Even if you don't have an account, you can see these animals on front, and you can even scroll through them. Your votes don't count unless you're logged in and you've joined a society. The society is what couples you with the question. So this has a lot of potential, but what I see in the beginning this survey app being is a great way for students to start thinking about natural selection and what it takes for an animal to survive. You can ask questions about the animal's ability to catch food, like I've done here. Could this animal catch a rabbit and eat it? You could also ask questions like, what habitat would this animal thrive in? And then your questions here could be, instead of saying yes, no, could this animal catch a rabbit and eat it, you could say, what habitat would this animal thrive in? And this button could actually be seashore, trees, treetops, climbing in trees, savanna, catching very fast prey. You could ask whatever question you want. You could also, instead of in this case, instead of saying could this animal catch a rabbit and eat it, you could say rate this animal's ability to catch a rabbit and eat it. And then the students can go through and they can vote yes or no. So all of the students vote, and they can have their own criteria in their head, and they can have their own justifications. And if you scroll through these animals, depending on what you've bred for them or what you have ready for them, or what you've cloned out of your society page, which I've talked about. I don't know why we're frozen up here. This recording app, or this recording program, slows me way down. So you've got some data. All of the students have voted through this one time, and it won't do duplicates. So if a student wanted to go through and vote over and over and over again, they wouldn't generate a lot of data. They'd just generate one full cycle through the population. I want to point out that a population that they're voting on is, or the survey is tied to these tags here. And I've got multiple tags on these animals just because I've been messing around. But if you go to your survey, you can see here the tag for could this animal catch a rabbit and eat it is survivor. I suggest you use tags that say generation 1, generation 2. So after the students vote all the way through it, you take the top animals that they picked and you breed them, and the offspring of those top animals is your generation 2, and you tag it generation 2, and you change your tag to generation 2. I'm going to do bottle. So then when the students go through and vote, they're voting on what generation 2's ability is. And you can change the question too. When you go in and change the tag, you could change the question. You could refine the question, like, could this animal, like I said before, could this rate this animal's ability to catch a rabbit and eat it, and then it could be a rating. Or you could say, could this animal escape, or rate this animal's ability to escape the jaws of a crocodile on the seashore, or whatever. You gotta think about your questions and the population that you have. And you can do several generations. I think it's a good homework assignment where the students go home, they log in, it takes them 5 or 10 minutes. Encourage them to scroll through all the way through the animals at least once, so they kind of get an idea of what the makeup of the population is. They vote, you get the data, you breed new animals. The next day they have a new question to answer with the second generation, and then the third generation, and then the fourth generation, etc. You could do this a whole semester if you wanted. You could do it once a week intervals, or you could do a day or two intervals. And you can breed through this, and then let's go back into this one. This is the teacher one. And then you can type in generation 1 here, and you can go to the gallery and you can show them generation 1. You can talk about what criteria they used to make selections, and then you can show them generation 2, and you could also show them, you could tag or you could name the group that they chose. You could name them generation 1 survivors, and then you could tag them generation 1 survivors and search here, and go to your gallery if it'll pull up, and scroll down, and you can show them generation 1 survivors, and then you can show them generation 2, and then generation 2 survivors, and all the way while you're talking about what kind of criteria or what criteria that they used to decide, or what things they looked at. This really is a good tool for students to start thinking about what it takes for an animal to survive, and they can get some good discussions going, and of course designing a lesson plan with some good examples of animals that are highly adapted to a specific habitat or a specific niche would be a great addition to this lesson. So those are just some ideas for the BioMechanico survey.